Hello, how you doing? Gonna put all this stuff together today, you guys. Isn't that exciting? All the stuff together. So there's two different kinds of chords, right? There's going to be your 3 chord progressions and then your 4 chord progressions. So the first one of these is a 3 chord progression. I came out with this 7, 6, 1. Sounds like it could be a part of a song, right? There'll be other parts too. I got another one over here. It's 4, 5, 1. We're in the key of E flat, by the way. We're going along at 69 beats per minute. 4, 5, 1. This is the root, right? Subdominant chord, dominant chord, and then the root chord. Here's a weird one. Two to 7 to 1. So this could be another part of a song, or like a chorus, right? Right now we're just doing 3 of them. So I want you to go through this, each one of these. What could this turn into? So that's just a series of them here. I'll do a few more so you guys get the feel of this. Or at 69 beats per minute, it's not too fast. And I was thinking of some of the other rhythm exercises that I came out with. One was 1 E, 2 T, and 1 E, 2 E, and E, and 4 E, and 1 E, 2 E, and E, and 4 E, and 1 E, 2 E, and 4 E, and 1 E, 2 E, and E, and 4 E, and 1 E, 2 E, and E, and 4 E, and 1 E, 2 E, and E, and 4 E, and 1 E, 2 E, and E, and 4 E, and 1. So you get the point. So there, I'm just going 1, and then this is to the 3, 4, and then we come to the 5. So 1, 3, 5. Now this is a happy song, it'd be on the 4th fret, right? It's a 3rd, so it'd be. The damnedest thing. I had this thing tuned. So you got to decide which mode you're going to start off with. In this case, we're starting off here. 1, then we go to 3, skip 4 and go to 5. One, 3, and 4. So these are all different kinds of combinations you can make with 3 chords. And then we're going to really escalate this thing because we're going to move on to 4 chords. But I want you guys to get a feel for this. Could start on the 7, right? 7, 2, and 1. Then you could go 6, 5, 4, 2, and then from go to 5. And then we're in the Mixolydian mode. So you get the picture. We got 1, 4, 2 we could go through. That's 2, 3. This would be 2. I like this one. What do you mean that day when you told me that? You mean to treat me like a drowned rat? What could be going on in your head? I don't know. So you're just mixing up all these modes, right? What degree are you going to start on? Could be the 1st degree. Could be the 2nd degree. That's Dorian minors. And then it only has a flat 3rd and a flat 7th in the Dorian mode, right? Phrygian is a little more sad. You got a flat 2nd, flat 3rd, a flat 6th, and a flat 7th. And this is Lydian mode. This has a sharped 4th. Okay? So the 4th of it is sharped. Little dreamy one there. Then we go into the Mixolydian mode, which is like the least happiest of all the major scales. I didn't think this was particularly effective here. So you just experiment with it, decide exactly what quality of scale that you want. Keep in mind one thing that's really important, and that is you can go to the relative minor, right? So in this case, an E flat that major would go in, we're going to count back from E, 3 half steps, right? 1, 2, 3, it brings us right over here to C flat, right? So that's what I'm telling you, it's the same set of notes. That's your relative minor. Or you could turn E flat major, right, into E flat minor. And this is called a parallel relationship. The parallel relationship between the two, right? So you got E flat major, and then immediately we go to minor. See the difference there? So we're going to go through the four note progression now. The four chord progression. Right, I got one for you right over here. Starts out in Dorian mode. We go to Mixolydian mode, and then we go to Phrygian mode, and then we go to Ionian mode, the home bass. So it goes. Who's that back in the corner of my yard? Who's that back corner of my yard? Should I be alarmed? Should I be alarmed? I like this one. 2. Five. 3 Phrygian. 2. So experiment with this stuff. You know, you got all day here, but like I said, that was only my first one. Here's a real obvious one, okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So start out in the first. The third would be right here. that's a 3, 4, 5, 6. Like a Locrian kind of riff. Here's another one, 6, 3, 7, 3, 6, 1. 7, 3, 6, 1, 7. Seven, 3, 6. Seven, 3, 6, 2. 7. Since we're in the major scale, I'm playing, you know, the sharp bit on the 11th fret over here, 12. That means I have to go to the major, right? And that would be G, E flat, G, B flat fret, right? So you screw around with this, you know. So I got all sorts of them. I have 80 examples of putting it together, 3 chord progressions, right? I'm going to share this with you right over here. This is what I came up with. These are the 3 combinations right over here. 3 chord progressions. This is 4. And we'll hold that up there for a few minutes here. Well, a few seconds, really. There you go. So we're just going through this note by note. It's my bass student.
Facing the street.
No, it's not. That's my bass student, always joking around. Right? So this is just 1, 3, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 2. 1, 3, 5. Remember, it's a Mixolydian scale. Lydian scale. Dorian to Ionian. Phrygian, Dorian. Oh yeah! So I hope you guys are keeping up with the rhythm exercises. Like I said, mine was 1 E, 2 E, and E and 4 E, and 1 E, 2 E, and E and 4 E, and so I'm taking out 2 16th notes. That was in exercise 2 to 12. Also, I have a performance channel, so you can look me up there. It's a Pacific Coast bass performer, and like to see you guys over there and show you my stuff in live with all the mistakes and the successes, both. And just thought I'd make a longer video to go through how all this stuff fits together, right? You don't want to make a song that's too predictable. I mean, you can make maybe a song with a chord progression in order, but you'd have to determine if you're what kind of mood you're in, right? If you're in a pretty sad mood, you might want to stick with that Phrygian scale, you know, and Dorian if you're a little bittersweet about things, and then the normal natural minor is in between the two, right? And then you're happy that it's a major chord, you know. I'm so happy I can't stand it. Yeah. And you're gonna have to determine, well, what kind of level of happiness, because as you know, the Lydian mode that we have already covered right over here, it has an augmented fourth compared to the regular scale, so it's almost the happiest one. And then we come up to the regular Ionian one, right? And what's so interesting about it is that you can fluctuate between all these modes. You can change chords from any root note. If it's a major chord, you go to minor, its relative minor, or you could go to its parallel minor. Now, the Beatles make good use of this parallel minor stuff in Lovely Rita, which I'm trying to figure out right now, but I don't want to perform it for you yet. But I want you guys to go through all these modes in E flat. If you have another scale, I want you to keep this in mind. If you have another vocal range, so it's too low, maybe you could think about going up to G. All you have to do is from G, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And that's the major key, right? Very effective for, it all depends on a sharp third, or a natural third or a flatted third, right? It's the whole mood pattern changes. And then I could play that's the minor scale of E. Then I could play the major scale. Completely different feel. It's much happier, right? So you can look at your past, your experiences in life, and want to maybe make up some stuff. Even you want to design a narrative with a personable character in it, right? Somewhat of a, I don't want you to start out with the unreliable narrator, because that's genius, and we're just starting out. Determine what mood you're going to portray, and you can do this through all the modes that I showed you. The Locrian is just an illustrious way to dress up the next coming chord. So I made a lot of experiments through that, and I really appreciate the support, you guys. It means so much to me. Phrygian scale. We've got a flatted third, a flatted second, a flatted sixth, and a flatted seventh. This is the Lydian one. This is the one that sounds so strange because you have a sharped fourth. So you want to try different combinations of this, like for both of these exercises that I've laid before you today. So we got the 3-chord change and the 4-chord change. Now, what kind of rhythm do you want? And that's going to be determined by your lyrics, right? Is it going to go tum-ta, as in a Trochee? Is it going to go to-tum, as in Iambs? Is it a spondee, tum-tum? What about, for instance, Dactyl, right? Accented, and then followed by 2 unaccented syllables. And then we got the Anapest, and that's 2 unaccented syllables followed by an accented syllable. So think about this in your writing and stuff. I guess she didn't come around often enough as I could see. She wasn't there behind the bar anywhere. Think it might be too late for her. Found out the hard way. She quit 2 weeks ago. Now I stare off in the wall. Think that I'll let the best one go. Try not let it get to me. I try not to let it get to me. I try not to let it get to me. I try not to let it get to me. But every once in a while it creeps up on me. Well, the temperature dropped today, thanks to His grace. I won't suffer too much. Now in Locrian now, Mixolydian mode. Now I'm in Locrian and to the first back to home, major scale, Ionian mode. And that's 1, of course, right? So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 if you're in the minor scale, this is 4 in the major scale, right? Depends on the quality of the chord. This is number 4, right? That's a subdominant chord. Always major. It's another, followed by another major. It's a dominant chord, right? So a lot of times it has a 7th with it. And then we come up to the minor chord, right? Followed by the Locrian chord. I'm the Locrian scale, followed by the actual root of the scale. So you can change the quality of the chord either by going from the major chord, and if you want to have a sadder part of the song, you can actually write down the, you can go to the 6th, right, or the 2nd. It depends on the song and your experience and your vocal range. Hey, if it's bad for you to do it in, like I said, go up to G, go up to A if you want. If E flat is too high, I guess you could go to D flat, D and D flat. And if you wanted to make a song in the chromatic scale and line it up against another chromatic, I mean, you could do that too, right? Time we're in E, right? You go to the 5. We want to land on the 5, right? This is a 5 relationship over here, from E over here to B. This is D flat, this is B. I got scared that day, like I was getting bullied again. Pick up my guts, 'cause I'd had enough. All of a sudden another situation. I might have to be part of the problem, not the solution. And you don't have to make, of course, the song just chromatic scales. You could use like any of these scales, like a minor one, and just substitute 4 notes in succession that are chromatic, right? So let's play the minor scale. Now, what if we go... See, right now I'm substituting some of the notes for the scale of the minor scale to make it sound even more dramatic. Now, does it work for the major scale? Let's find out here. Sounds kind of weird. So I think the chromatic scales can be involved in anything, but it sounds more like a composite scale than there's a relationship between the major scales and the chromatic scales. So the chromatic scales are there to amplify the sadness of the song, you know. And you're going to be appealing to people's emotion through the details of the song that's going to be delivered in the verse. But I want you to think of, like, how are you going to start this? Like a couple of trochees followed with a dactyl, or a couple of dactyls. Remember, like, each one is a foot, and you want 5 syllables per line, right? And that's how we talk to each other, but this is all how we talk to each other anyway, so it's the same thing. You're just talking to a friend, like I am right now with you. When you're performing and singing a verse about something, you're giving the details and stuff, the who, what, where, when, and why. How, why. And then you're going to go into the chorus, which is going to back up the title, right? And there, you could also add a bridge, which I would recommend. You know, like something different from the verse, different from the chorus, but it's definitely cool. Such as "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles. You listen to that after that first verse, it just pops with that bridge, doesn't it? They stick the bridge right in between the first verse and the second verse. It's so interesting, and it just keeps you on top and stuff. Lately, I've been trying to learn. I've been trying to learn Rita, Lovely Meter Maid, and let me tell you, I would recommend this for people trying to learn the Beatles. Stick with the stuff that you can handle for now, and I think you can handle right now Mean Mr. Mustard or Polythene Pam. You could even try to go into something else. You might want to go into She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. Just to start out, or One After the 909. I don't expect you to be like trying stuff like hello, goodbye, or because there's a lot of stuff going on. But eventually, if you just do this over and over again, you can figure out all of their songs. I'm just saying, start out realistically. Mean Mr. Mustard. People love it when I sing that song. It's funny. It's entertaining. Just like the one after 909, the one John Lennon wrote. He wrote that one. It's hilarious, I'm going to get into more Paul McCartney, Sir Paul McCartney and Wings, too, doing his songs and stuff. It was infectious, that song, Don't Let Me Down. When I started trying to figure it out on bass, it was interesting, because that part. I always wondered, how do you do that? It used to cause me a lot of anxiety, and sometimes you have to get off your duff and just do it. Just follow along with it. And it took me like about a week to figure that out. And the lyrics, of course, a couple weeks, because even though they're simple, that's my weakest point, is remember the lyrics and vocals maybe. But I'm glad you guys are here today with me. Just think of this. Are you in a happy mood, and is that what your song is all about? Or are you in a sad mood? I just thought of something right here. As you can see, I'm using a lot of rests in there too. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's great just hanging out here and just showing you how do all these modes work with each other. And you have different relationships between them. I want you to make up your own chord progressions, okay? So you remember, 1 through 7 is what you got. You can't really put the 7 or the 5 in the last holder, but you can put them in any other position, right? And then see what you guys come up with, because they came out with 84 3-chord progressions and about 95 of the 4-chord progressions. So I want you to work on this and think about your lyrics. What is this inspiring you, and what was that? And then write for free writing for about 5 minutes. And just don't stop, right? And you're gonna own this song, because you're gonna pick out certain lyrics that are gonna be more colorful than if you make up some contrived lines that nobody's gonna believe, right? And I just love you guys, and much peace, love, happiness, joy, and respect. Playing bass is not really that hard, but some songs are a little more challenging, like in Hello Rita, he's going down in the major scale. And then listen to this. He immediately goes from the parallel C major, E flat, he goes from E flat major to E flat minor. And so he does a parallel shift there. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that, I'm figuring this stuff out, and You know, that's Lovely Rita. That's from Lovely Rita. Oh, wait. Lovely Rita, Mita maid. Lovely Rita, Mita maid. Lovely Rita, Mita maid. Nothing can get between us. Nothing can get between us. But I'm still working on that one because you got a lot of stuff going on in there, and I just wanted to analyze it. And it's not as easy as me, me and Mr. Mustard. It's not as easy as Polythene Pam, you know. Have you seen Polythene Pam? She goes so good looking, but she looks like a man. She's dressed in drag in her polythene bag. You should see Polythene Pam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good, easy song to start out with. Shoot, right? And there's a Wish You Were Here. Like I said before, that's one you can figure out. You know, stuff that's not as fast or intricate because this is when you're performing. You got to control what's going on in your left hand and what's coming through this, you know, from your brain into your hand, and what's coming out of your mouth at the same time, and they have to all be in sync. So why don't you guys work on like maybe a couple of Iambs and a Dactyl, a couple of Iambs and a Dactyl, and then try it the other way. Do a couple of Trochees and an Anapest. Do a couple of Trochees and Anapest. See what kind of rhythms you want, and do some free writing, and see if you can pull out some sentences and use some rhyming schemes to get everything going. Right? There's all kinds of rhyming schemes. There's A. There's A, B, A, B, A, B, B, A. There's X, X, A, right? So X, 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 A is like nothing rhymes except the fourth line. And you can use what I talked about with the lyrical rhythms to keep this whole thing going, okay? And that's how I feel about it, right? I feel like a certain amount of freedom. You can use any combination of these. You know, you can use this. I use the 7th degree a bit, you know, and it all depends on what mode are you in. Are you in the major or minor? Are you in the Ionian mode or the Dorian mode or whatever? Because you'll have a flat 7th. That's actually technically D flat. D to D flat, and then D to E flat is only a half step. And I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. I just thought I'd start making longer content with you, and I wish you the best and God bless you. I'm going through an interesting point in history, so just hang in there. And just give this 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week. You'll be doing fine. Right now, like we're at 69, and we're gonna probably inch it up to the 70s by next week on the beats per minute. Okay. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Okay.